Hi, I'm Mrs. Reese, and I'm here to tell you about Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, he was born in Boston, Massachusetts on January 17th of 1706. He had a life that was kind of alone at first, but he made the most profound statement of what an American strives to be. So, Benjamin Franklin actually had no formal education beyond the age of 10 years old. So if you can imagine, he actually had to drop out of school at 10 because he attended grammar school at the age of 8, but he was put to work at 10. He was actually an apprentice as a printer for his brother James, who printed in New York. And he actually was, at the age of 12, he published his first work, which was an article, but nobody knew it was his because it was printed as an anonymous writer in 1721. Well, he was an avid reader. Oh my gosh, Benjamin Franklin, he loved to read. And so but he was also very inquisitive, and he was skeptical. You know, he questioned things. Well, he even wrote these sarcastic kind of articles. Well, people didn't really like that because he kind of poked fun at people in Boston, and so soon he kind of wore out his welcome with his brother and with the people in the city. So hey, at 16 years old, he up and ran away, and he actually ran away to New York, which is that's kind of crazy to think about, the fact that a 16-year-old would run away to New York. But it worked out okay for him because what he did do is he actually did get a commission to Europe to go and buy some supplies. But when he got there was actually nobody there to meet him. And so what he had to do is he had to work really hard just to buy a ticket to get back to New York. But he did that. And, that's the one thing, is Benjamin Franklin was a very hard worker. And so when he got back, he actually started his own shop, and which was great. So he started a shop as a printer. And he was appointed actually as clerk of the Pennsylvania Assembly in 1736, and he then became the postmaster the following year. And what's really cool is he was actually the United States' first postmaster general, which is really, that's quite an accomplishment. So anyway, but he also in 1741, he actually began publishing what they call the Poor Richard's Almanac, which actually was a very popular and influential magazine. They wanted to know what he had to say. He was also elected to the Pennsylvania the Assembly in 1751, and then he also served as an agent for Pennsylvania for actually 3 colonies, but also to England, France, and to several other European powers. He was elected to the Continental Congress in 1775, which, he actually played a crucial role in the rebellion against Great Britain. So, he helped to gain the United States freedom from England, where he actually even helped to edit the Declaration of Independence. So that's certainly an honor for him to have done that. And of course, by that time he was also very, very wealthy. He started off, he was very, very poor, dropped out of school at 10, but because he persevered, he showed people that you can overcome your circumstances. You may grow up in a home that you don't have wealth, but it doesn't mean that you can't work hard and gain that. There were many things after that. After he retired, he actually began, he continued to publish and continued to serve important roles in the government. And what's neat, though, is when you think about Benjamin Franklin, he was a businessman. He was a writer, he was a publisher, he was a scientist, a diplomat, he was a legislator, he was a social activist, and he was actually one of the earliest and strongest advocates of abolition of slavery. He was really against slavery and for the protection of the rights of American Aboriginals people. So, like the Native Americans, he fought for them. And unfortunately, though, April 17th of 1790, he died of pleurisy, which was a real loss for the United States. But, he is certainly a great man and one that will always be remembered, and he is most celebrated characters. He's one of the most celebrated characters in America. Well, I hope that you have learned something about Ben Franklin today. Have a great day.